¿Existen distintos dialectos en el chino mandarín? ¿Cuánto tiempo se tarda una persona promedio en aprender a hablar chino? ¿Es el chino un idioma difícil de aprender? ¿Por qué es importante como adolescentes aprender este tan importante idioma? Si quieres tener las respuestas de cada una de las preguntas anteriores, quédate en este video porque aquí las responderemos. Hey, what's up you guys? How are you? Hope you're doing well. En el video de hoy, el primer video del 2021, te tengo un tema bastante importante. Estoy seguro que te va a impresionar. Me estuve planteando para este 2021 aprender un nuevo idioma. ¿Y cuál idioma es ese? El chino mandarín. Supongo que tú también estás interesada en aprender este idioma o estás interesado. Así que hoy, todas esas preguntas que podrías tener, las voy a contestar. Una persona del UK, del Reino Unido, ha estado aprendiendo chino mandarín, tiene 17 años y lo ha estado aprendiendo por un año al día de hoy, es decir, tiene un año aprendiendo chino mandarín. Lo está aprendiendo sin gastar dinero. Entonces, hoy te voy a compartir todos los secretos que esta persona ocupa para aprender chino mandarín simplemente usando el internet, para que tú también lo hagas. Vamos con esta entrevista.
Hello guys, welcome to a new video. Today we are here with Elizabeth. Elizabeth has a YouTube channel in which she explains how to learn languages. Isn't it okay? Elizabeth,
Yeah,
could you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name's Elizabeth, and as he just said, I have a language learning YouTube account, so if you guys want to check that out, if you're interested in learning any language, then check it out and see what you think. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me on.
What is the difference, or what is Mandarin, what is Chinese? What's the difference?
Okay, so Chinese is an umbrella term which basically encompasses all dialects and languages within Chinese. However, we all hear people referring to Mandarin Chinese, which is the most widely common spoken language within Chinese, as Chinese, which can be really confusing. That's what I found really confusing at the beginning. Whenever I looked up Chinese resources, I would get different types of Chinese. And yeah, so if you want to learn the Chinese that most people want to learn, which is the standard, the official language of China, and it's the most widely spoken language of Chinese, it's Mandarin Chinese. So yeah, that's the difference between it.
Oh, okay. So are there different dialects of Chinese?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, and does
There's
it depend? Yeah, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and does it depend on the region of China or the country maybe?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, dialects kind of come around depending on where the geographical area is. So over the years, the language has kind of evolved differently. There's different phonology, there's different words for different things. So if you speak perhaps Cantonese, you wouldn't be able to understand Fujianese, which is really, really interesting. Dialects are where you are in different places in China or around the area. So yeah, so there's, for example, Fujianese, Shanghainese. So Shanghainese is obviously Shanghai. Cantonese, that's spoken in Hong Kong. There's Mandarin, there's lots of different things. There's also different accents, of course, like the Beijing accent. And it's really difficult because dialects and languages, it's quite a vague line of when something is a dialect and when something is a language. So some people would call Cantonese a language, and I personally definitely would call it a language. But then it also, I've heard it being referred to as a dialect, so it's really confusing. Okay. But yeah, so it's a very vague line of which one's which, but overall, dialects of language, there's many of them. If you are thinking you can learn Mandarin and then understand Cantonese, you won't be able to. So treat them as different languages if you want to go and learn one.
¿Es el chino un idioma difícil de aprender? Es la pregunta que la mayoría de nosotros tenemos. Y según sitios de internet, el chino mandarín es un idioma, es de los idiomas más difíciles del mundo para su aprendizaje, especialmente para una persona que habla el idioma inglés, español y otros idiomas de otros continentes que no son el continente asiático.
Is Chinese difficult to learn? Do you find it difficult?
Okay, well, so Chinese is a level 5 language for English speakers. And that's the highest level there is. So of course everyone says it's one of the hardest languages. I've heard people saying it's the hardest language ever to learn, which I definitely disagree with. There's plenty of harder languages to learn. Yeah, I mean, if you think about all of the indigenous languages and all of the ancient languages, we're quite lucky with Chinese because there's so many resources to learn it. So I feel like depends on how many resources you have as well that helps the ease of the language you're learning. But yeah, it depends on your language history. So if you only speak English, or if you speak a language that is very foreign to Chinese, then of course it's going to be very, very hard for you. If you speak a language more similar to Chinese, or if you come across it a lot more than anyone else, then of course you'll find it a little bit easier. I feel like if you speak other languages, you will have an easier time because you have come across the different methods of language learning, and you've kind of digested how to learn a language and how, like, it's not as daunting for you. So if your first ever language is Chinese, it will be very scary, but it's not impossible. Chinese is not impossible. You can definitely learn it, and a lot of people have actually learned it really, really quickly. Of course, they have different methods, but I wouldn't shy away from Chinese. If you're really, really interested in learning Chinese, go for it. It's an amazing language.
Ok, ya sabemos y nos estamos planteando aprender este nuevo idioma, el chino mandarín. ¿Qué es esa primera cosa, ese primer paso que tenemos que tomar para iniciar con este aprendizaje? Elizabeth nos comparte cuál fue su método para iniciar con el aprendizaje del chino mandarín.
What's the first thing I should do before starting with Chinese?
Again, this is quite personal because language learning is very personal, but I'd always say, whatever language you're learning, listen to it. Listen to the language at the beginning, try and consume a lot of the media, try and just daily, every day, listen to YouTube videos, watch shows. I watched so many shows when I first started Chinese. I binge watched so many shows, so many C-dramas.
Even though you didn't understand?
Yeah, at the beginning I didn't understand, I had subtitles. And yeah, originally I just wanted to watch it for the culture because I really, really enjoyed them anyway, and it was really interesting to see these Chinese shows. I've never watched a Chinese show before, and since I'd started the language, I wanted to start watching them. But I found after I watched them, I got really, really interested in them, and I didn't even pay attention to the language. I was just paying attention to the story, and I found I've picked up a lot of vocab and a lot of different phrases, which was really interesting to me. But also, again, it's personal. If you don't want to learn to write because you have no need for it, you don't need to. There's plenty of people I've met that only want to focus on speaking. If you don't want to learn to speak yet because you won't have the opportunity to speak, you don't need to. You can just focus on reading and writing.
So, you think that a person could learn Chinese completely on her or his own?
It's definitely possible. Personally, I've never used classes or anything. I've never been taught myself. I'm completely self-taught, and I've only learned from the internet. And again, as I said, I tried
Kudos to you.
I tried a textbook. I read one page and I was like, no, this isn't for me. So I've only been learning from the internet, and so many resources, as I said, for Chinese, because it's one of the most spoken languages. So you will find so many resources, you'll find so many shows, you'll find so many websites, so many apps, and yeah, just have fun, try all of them out and see which ones you enjoy.
¿No te has preguntado cuánto tiempo se tarda una persona promedio en aprender este idioma? Bueno, pues aquí está la respuesta.
I have heard some people have learnt Chinese in maybe 6 months, which sounds crazy.
Yeah, it sounds crazy. I cannot believe it.
Yeah, it depends how far you want to learn it. So if you want to be fluent, like advanced, it will take a while. It will take a while. If you want to be conversational, you'll be able to do it. I don't want to say anything, but like depending on your determination.
And your desire.
Yeah, exactly. Your passion for it. It depends. But I have seen people doing it in a couple months, but that's conversational, not fluent.
La pregunta final, ¿por qué debería una persona aprender chino mandarín? Aquí la respuesta.
As a teenager, why should a person learn Chinese?
Okay, well, for me, I personally learned Chinese just because I was so interested in the culture. But I think that learning Chinese opens up so many doors for you.
Mhm.
No matter what you're interested in, no matter what you want to do in the future, especially as a teenager, if you can learn Chinese, by the time you're an adult, you will get so many different jobs, you will be able to go to so many different opportunities, and it will literally open doors for you for your whole life. It could easily change your whole life. If you
Yeah.
learn Chinese, and this goes for any other language, if you learn a language, you have no idea where it's going to take you.
Well, that was it. Congratulations for learning Chinese. I know it's quite difficult, especially for English speakers and speakers from other parts or other continents that are not Asia. So, congratulations. I hope you guys try to learn Chinese. Anything
Yeah,
you wanna
please
say?
learn Chinese. It will change your life. It's so good. And that goes for any language. If you're interested in a language, go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks so much, Elizabeth. Her channel is on the doobly-doo in the description down below. Check it out. She has great content, especially if you want to learn languages. Go and check it out. Thanks so much, and
Thank you
yeah,
for having me.
thanks so
Bye.
much. Bye everyone. Thanks for watching.
Hasta aquí el video de hoy, espero que te haya encantado.